I am the tag team champions. Alright, so before we really get started, let me get something out of my hair, out of my head, out of my body, out of my system in general. Yes, I realize that this is old news. I read about it like, 3-4 weeks ago when it happened. But yes, Kelly was released from the WWE, something that many fans like myself had been praying and hoping and looking forward to for years now, since she first joined the WWE, because she was not good as a model, she was not good as a dancer, and she was definitely not good as an athletic competitor in the WWE. I am very happy about that, alright? I got it out of my system. Let's carry on to the actual important things, if we will. So to continue from where the intro left off, no, Juanito Shet, you are not the tag team champions, and you could not become the tag team champions on your best day. Yes, if you thought about that during the intro, yes, I accept that as a fact. Juanito Shet will not last a second inside the ring, or at least I don't think so. I don't know what you guys think, but I would not be cut out for in-ring work. However, the tag team division, the focus is the tag team division. The tag team division has been revitalized, not fully. It's not great like it used to be, but it's getting better, and it's getting better, and it's getting better, and that's in part due to Kane and Daniel Bryan. Team Hell No, made up of Mr. Goatface and the Little Red Thing. Not the Big Red Monster, that's right, the Little Red Thing, because that's what he should be called from now on. He's not the Big Red Monster anymore. This is a PG environment. We can't have someone setting people on fire in a PG environment. No. But what we can have them do is revitalize a tag team division like they've been doing for what, a month or two now, since they became tag team champions. Yes, that is something to be very happy about. I mean, you got all these teams, Primo and Epico, you got the Rhodes Scholars, you got Team Hell No, you got all these teams. But of course, I'm just stating the obvious here. These are all great teams, and they help revitalize the tag team division. And I'm happy to see, like all of you are, I assume, that the creative team and Vince McMahon and Triple H and everybody else backstage that takes care of the booking and such, and the creative direction, is pushing the tag team division once again, because it's been long overdue. It was long overdue, and one gets happy as a fan when they see that it's getting the attention that it deserves. So go Team Hell No, I'm all for it, and I hope that they keep on updating the team as a whole so that they don't get stale, because there's only so much "I'm the tag team champions" yelling one can do before it gets repetitive like anything else in the WWE. So keep the team updated, add a little thing here, a little something there, and the team will do just fine for however long you want them to be tag team champions. I'm looking forward to it. Tag team division is once again getting good. Someone who I feel has not been getting the kind of attention and focus that the tag team division has been getting, though, is a single lone superstar. You might have heard of him. His name is Dolph Ziggler, your Mr. Money in the Bank and your resident show-off. Because despite the fact that since becoming Mr. Money in the Bank, he's had quite a handful of big profile matches, he's booked to lose nearly every single one of those big profile matches, and it makes him look weak, despite the fact that he puts on a great show during the entire big profile match. He's booked to lose each one. When he's not losing to Sheamus, he's losing to Randy Orton. When he's not losing to Randy Orton, he's losing to some other babyface that always has the edge over him. And when he doesn't lose, he walks out on the match, or someone else walks out in the match. I'm looking at you, CM Punk, and it makes him look weak because he's hit by a finisher and he's pinned, or he taps out or something, usually by pinfall though. And so Mr. Money in the Bank has not been booked properly, and he has Vicky Guerrero still as his mouthpiece. You know, for the longest of times they've been together, and I'm one of those fans that kind of wants her to stay with him because she gets heat and passes some of that heat to Dolph Ziggler, but at the same time, he doesn't need her because he hardly gets any mic time. The mic time that he gets is usually set apart for Vicky Guerrero, and she doesn't need that mic time. And I think that Dolph Ziggler would be fine without her, but yet again, like I said, that little heat that he passes on over to him could be useful. I'm not really sure, but for the most part, I think the major part of me would rather not have her stick with Dolph Ziggler. I don't want to see her anymore for the most part. So come on, creative team, build up your Mr. Money in the Bank, because you know you can, you know you should, and you know that he's earned it. He's a great athlete and one who can talk on the mic. What more can you ask for? And not only that, but the crowd is behind him despite the fact that he's supposed to be a heel. If you've been watching Raw and you're observing, you know that he's been getting a lot of chance where he goes because the fans recognize his abilities, they recognize his talent, and they want to see Dolph Ziggler succeed like I want to see Dolph Ziggler succeed. So come on, what are you waiting for? Dolph Ziggler's time should have happened months ago in my personal opinion. Let's hurry up, let's build him up good so that when he finally cashes in, he matters, so that people care about him, because I know I care about him, and I know a lot of people care about him, and they want to see him succeed. So creative team, wake up, come on, do it. You know you want to, you know you should. Oh, and there's another superstar that I've been impressed with, especially since he became your United States champion. So of course, you know I'm talking about Antonio Cesaro, because especially since becoming champion, he's gotten a lot more airtime for matches and such. So we've seen what he can do, and he's been great. He's impressed me, and I'm very high on this guy right now because I firmly believe, I should say, that he could be a main eventer in the future. From the uppercuts that he uses, from the neutralizer finish, to the promos that he cuts in 5 idiomas diferentes, this guy has me convinced that he has all the tools necessary to become a main eventer in the future. And I had heard about Antonio Cesaro since before he even debuted in the WWE, since before he even signed. And if I remember correctly, his independent wrestler name before signing with the WWE was Claudio Castagnoli. I could be wrong. I could have pronounced that wrong. I could have confused him with another independent wrestler. And if I did, correct me in the comment section. I won't be bothered by that. Or correct me wherever you see this video, because, you know, I could be wrong. And I appreciate it if you correct me. However, Antonio Cesaro, your United States champion, very high on him. And I definitely think he could become a big-time superstar in the WWE not too far from now. Also, I'm very curious to see where this whole Kofi Kingston and The Miz feud is going to go, because at this point in time, they're feuding for the Intercontinental Championship. And you don't have to be a very observant person to notice that for the longest amount of time, both of these men have been stuck between a rock and a hard place, because they've been in the mid-card for so long. Both of these men have not broken through the glass ceiling, and in the Miz case, once again, because the Miz has already proved that he can hang with the big boys in the main event scene. Kofi Kingston has never really gotten to the main event, except for that time when he feuded with Randy Orton so long ago now. But he never really broke through. He was never given the chance to break through and remain as a top draw. So Kofi Kingston and The Miz, they're in this feud right now, and one of these two men is going to lose this feud. Whether it's The Miz, whether it's Kofi Kingston, one of these men is going to lose, and their credibility is going to be hurt even more. They're going to go even lower, and they're going to become less relevant in the WWE. And I don't want any of that to happen to either of these men, because I've been a fan of Kofi Kingston for years, nearly since he debuted. I've been a fan of The Miz since he was tag team champion, since he was in ECW as the Chick Magnet. I've been a fan of him since back then, and I don't want to see either of these men be dragged down and go down into irrelevancy once again. Both of these men have the talent, they have the mic skills, they have all the ability in the world to reach the main event and stay in the main event. I firmly believe that. So whoever loses in this feud for the Intercontinental Championship will hopefully not be hurt too much in the sense of credibility, because I don't want either of these men to become even more irrelevant than they already are. So whoever does come out on top in this feud, I wish the best of luck to. However, whoever loses in this feud is also gonna need the best of luck. And for some reason, I feel that The Miz is gonna lose the Intercontinental Championship to Kofi Kingston. But that's just me. And if that's the case, oh well, it's gonna happen, and there's not much one can do other than hope for the best for both of these two great athletes. Out of these three superstars, though, I'd much rather focus on Ryback than on CM Punk or John Cena, because I could personally stand in front of this camera all day and give you all of my reasons for why I think CM Punk really is one of the greatest performers and wrestlers in the world today. And I personally do think that he will go down in WWE history as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. And John Cena, well, John Cena is there. I don't really need to say much about him, because John Cena is there. He's also going to go down as one of the greats. And I'm not a Cena hater, but I'm also not a Cena fan. I'm neutral on the guy. I don't hate the guy, but I don't like him either. And so I can't deny the fact that John Cena adds tension to CM Punk versus Ryback at Hell in a Cell. because he does. It's what John Cena can do for the match. Alright, so now that I got that out of the way, let's focus on Ryback. Ryback, Ryan Reeves is a man who debuted in what feels like an eternity ago for me now in NXT under the name of Skip Sheffield, and from NXT to Skip Sheffield he went on to join the Nexus, and then from the Nexus he got injured. He was out for a year. He came back as Ryback, and I remember when I first saw him in his re-debut and I heard the name Ryback and I thought, Ryback? Who came up with this name? Are we talking about a wrestler or about a kind of species of fish? Ryback? Are you kidding me? But then passed on the weeks, and I thought what a lot of people thought. Oh great, he's a big monster scary guy who's going to squash local jobbers, who's going to squash the jobbers from the WWE. Am I supposed to be impressed by this guy? I was not impressed, but then time passed by and now he's actually getting real competition. Now he's up against the WWE champion CM Punk. Time passes by so fast because, I mean, he debuted back in April and now he's facing the WWE champion at Hell in a Cell for the actual WWE championship. Whether you think that Ryback is ready to compete at such a high level or not, I personally don't, because I don't think Ryback has shown too much of what he can do. He's like Brodus Clay when Brodus Clay was on that winning streak. He never showed much. He did 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 moves and he won the match and he won the match, and it was squash match after squash match after squash match. And so with Ryback, I'm not terribly impressed, but I also got my high hopes for the guy. I mean, I'm looking forward to see if this guy can actually hang in the main event with CM Punk and John Cena and Sheamus and all the other big names out there. So I have high hopes for the guy. I'm not going to give up on the man. I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to see what he can do before I actually judge. I don't feel he's really ready, but he can prove me wrong. He can prove me right. He can prove all of us wrong or right with time. So let's give him a chance. I say that we give him a chance to see what he can really do and see if he can really hang in the main event scene. Whether he can or whether he can't will be seen with time, so we have to be patient. But in the meantime, Ryback faces CM Punk at Hell in a Cell in less than 2 weeks, in about a week and a half. So let's hope that it's a great match at Hell in a Cell with Ryback as a new competitor, as a new face, as a new superstar, a new draw in the WWE. We can't really predict what's going to happen at Hell in a Cell. It could be something controversial, something can happen that's not expected, something that nobody was able to predict, or CM Punk could just defeat Ryback and then brag on after his victory at Hell in a Cell about how he defeated the big scary Ryback who was on an undefeated streak before he faced him at Hell in a Cell. So it could go in many ways. There's a lot of possibilities for Ryback and for CM Punk now that he's taking him on at that pay-per-view. So let's try not to analyze too much on Ryback's behalf or on CM Punk's behalf so that we can really see if these guys can have a decent match at Hell in a Cell. And if we can't, oh well, we hope for the best and we're going to give Ryback a chance. So with all of this said and done, I think that you should join me in giving Ryback a chance because he has not been able to show off what he can really do, assuming that he can show something to us, that he can prove us wrong, and who knows, perhaps he will lose at Hell in a Cell and 5-10 years from now he will be like Kane is today. He will be a big guy who can perform at a great level, because I believe that Kane's always been a great competitor. Ryback could be like that, so I say that we don't judge too early and we give Ryback a chance. Perhaps at Hell in a Cell he will prove us all wrong, he will shut us all up, and he will have a great match with your WWE champion, the best in the world, CM Punk. And whew, personally I never thought that I'd take so long in this video, but I pretty much said everything that I wanted to talk about, and hopefully, I don't know, we can have some discussion about all of these topics, because it's great, it's fun to talk about everything that happens in the WWE, and so this is no exception. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, well, let me know. That's why the comment section and the like and dislike bar is there. You can give it whatever you want, but this was Juanito Shet with better mic skills than Zack Ryder, David Otunga, and Santino Marella combined. Signing off, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next pro wrestling video blog.